Did you know that tinnitus is one of the most common conditions veterans face, with over 2.5 million veterans receiving VA compensation for it? But here's the deal. If you're only claiming tinnitus on its own, you could be leaving money on the table. Today I'm sharing 3 key secondary disability claims for tinnitus that could really be a significant boost in your VA disability rate. Let's dive into it. Hey, this is Russ from Veteran Experience. If you find this content valuable, please like, subscribe, pass it on to other veterans who may be in need of this information. Number 1 is anxiety and depression. Depending on your condition, anxiety and depression will be a key claim for tinnitus. Many veterans with tinnitus experience these mental health challenges. It's consistent with the ringing or buzzing in the ear, all of which can lead to emotional distress. So step 1 is to gather information. Start with the current diagnosis. You've been seeing a mental health professional for anxiety, and he can link it to your tinnitus. That is a strong piece of evidence. Document your symptoms. Keep a journal, a month or so. Document how tinnitus impacts your daily life, your energy level, your concentration, your ability to work. Then you need a strong nexus letter from a medical professional who understands the VA jargon. This is key, that can connect your anxiety and depression, if it is connected, to your tinnitus. Your first challenge is to identify how tinnitus affects your mental health. Write down specific examples like, I'm having trouble sleeping, or I feel irritated, or I think about how you can explain to a doctor or VA rater the impact of your tinnitus on your mental health. Number 2 is sleep apnea. This is a least common connected secondary to tinnitus, but there is medical evidence that sleep apnea can be a secondary cause through tinnitus. There is a link, because tinnitus causes sleep disorders cause weight gain, and weight gain can connect sleep apnea to tinnitus. So first, get tested. If you suspect you have sleep apnea, if your spouse here says that you've been snoring, stop breathing periodically through the night, you might have sleep apnea. Get tested. Go to the VA and ask for a sleep study. Prove the connection. A medical opinion that states that your tinnitus contributes to sleep apnea or makes the sleep apnea that you have been diagnosed while you were on active duty worse is key. This can strengthen your case for a higher rating. Here's the challenge. Your second challenge is to think about your sleep patterns. Do you snore? Do you wake up tired? Do you stop breathing periodically through the night? If so, speak to your doctor about it. Third secondary is migraine. Migraines is a major result of tinnitus. Migraines have been well documented worldwide that migraines are connected to tinnitus, and tinnitus over time triggers migraines. How do you strengthen your claim for migraines secondary to tinnitus? You need to keep a diary. I would suggest Migraine Buddy and write down every time you had a migraine, how bad it was, whether you had to lay down, whether you had to go into a dark room, whether you missed family activities. All of these you can put into the app, the Migraine Buddy app, and this would be pivotal in your ability to show the severity of your migraines as you seek to connect them as a secondary to your tinnitus. Collect lay statement. If you can get a statement from your boss, your coworkers, your friends, that is phenomenal. Migraines has an impact in the lives of many people where you're unproductive at work. You're not dependable based on the amount of days you miss due to migraines. And if you can get this documentation from your current or past employer, this will be a massive benefit to you. Now, we all know migraines occur at random times. You can't control when they occur. So migraines will disturb your work and your social life to an unknown degree, depending on the severity of your case. I would say talk to a medical professional. Show the medical professional the number of days, the severity, talk about the impact, so you start to build a picture of how this has affected you. Now, like with any of these secondaries, you have to document. Documentation is key. You also need a nexus letter. And a nexus letter for migraines, as I said earlier, the evidence is there. The nexus letter is very simple, but you do need a medical professional who understands the VA terminology, or you still may get denied or underrated if your nexus letter isn't a thorough nexus letter. If you've done these steps with each one of these secondaries, hey vet, you're ahead of the game. But here are some common pitfalls and how you can avoid them. Before we wrap up, I want to touch on the common pitfalls, because too many times veterans will submit a claim with incomplete evidence. If you don't have all three elements, diagnosis, symptom, nexus, to your claim, do not file your claim. If you already put in intent to file, you still have time with that intent to file. You have 12 months. So don't put in a poorly supported claim. Don't put in a poorly written nexus. If you spend money on a nexus, ensure the nexus sounds solid and test it by looking up the peer review articles yourself. And if that is not what you have, your nexus letter is not worth the ink that is printed on. And if you have all those things, vets, congratulations. Submit your claim. And by this time, you should have a strong, sustainable claim for a secondary condition connected to your tinnitus. I would just say from one vet to another, there are many veterans who suffer with tinnitus that have never filed because they don't think they meet the qualifications to be approved, and they let money go. As time goes, it becomes harder and harder for you to get approved for a condition. And we know that in 2025, there are a lot of changes coming. They want to change tinnitus. So if you have ringing of the ears today and it's result from your military service, put in an intent to file today. This will hold your place. And we know that they're going to change sleep apnea. So I will put intent to file in for tinnitus, sleep apnea, anxiety, depression, and migraines. Put it in today. You have 12 months to have the final claim submitted. This will give you time to gather evidence and do all the things you need to do to have a strong claim to prove your case that is connected to your military service. Listen, if this has been valuable, please like and subscribe and do what we always say around here, keep fighting.